Hey guys, I want to leave you with a thought. There always has to be a choice between two trees. There always has to be the tree of life that leads to, well, life, fullness of life, purpose, passion, leads to everything that you were designed to be. And then there's the other tree, the tree of knowledge, good and evil. And that has to exist in the absence of love, in the absence of what is good, what is right, what is designed. That other tree has to exist because for love to exist, you have to be able to choose. The moment that you can't choose anymore, it's not love anymore. You're either a robot or you're functioning out of fear because you're being controlled. And that's not how we were designed. That's not how relationships are designed. Anytime you try to control somebody in a relationship, it doesn't work. It doesn't work well. Anytime you function from love and you can give people the right amount of choice that they have innately designed inside of them to have access to, you then can experience love. They can choose you. Those relationships with each other and ourselves and with God, it all functions the same way. If I want to be able to overcome something that I'm struggling with, and I ask someone to take it away from me, they can't do that. It might be drugs. You can take the drugs out of me, away from me, but that doesn't take away the struggle, what's underlying need driving the struggle. So whether it's an addiction, whether it's greed, whether it is a vice of some sort, pornography, adultery, whatever it is, and you're praying for it to be taken away. God can't just take away temptation, because the moment he takes away temptation, he takes away the choice of two trees. And for you to have a relationship with God, you have to choose. You have to choose love. You have to choose what is right. And that's usually where the church stops, right there. That's usually where most people stop. Sorry, this light, I'm trying to, that's usually where the message stops. And then it becomes about shame, because you try, you fail, you try, you fail. And most of us, our internal identities, at least in our culture and due to generational baggage, it gets passed down, is it has been externalized. Our value is about performance. So when we have that narrative inside of us and we bring it into our faith, it's really hard for us to emotionally receive God's grace or emotionally fall in love with God, because we're intellectually trying to compartmentalize things and we're trying to intellectualize everything. And it's all about performance for many, or it's all about never going to be enough for others. So if you fall on the side where my worth is as valid as my accomplishments, you judge other people based off their accomplishments, them not measuring up, because that's how harshly you judge yourself. And so if someone doesn't have the same drive as you, or they're reliant on something that you see as weakness that you hate about yourself, you will feel hostility towards them. And those are anxiety-driven people. Their worth has been externalized, and it's about how much I can do to prove my worth. And anytime you fail, you fall short and you feel intense shame, not guilt, but shame. And that's rooted in a family dynamic that filters the way that you perceive relationships. It influences how you become, what political party you come into. It influences how you perceive your faith, as I was talking before. Whether God's this harsh judge, you might intellectually know about grace, but internally you can't receive it because you're stuck in this place. And so you can go against it. You can CBT yourself, cognitive behavioral therapy yourself. You can do what the church has been propagating, this idea that you just choose. And to some degree, we have to manage our symptoms until we get healed. God gave us the capacity to adapt until we get to a safe place and we can heal. But most of us just stay in that adaptive phase forever, in that survival phase. God isn't trying to get us in a state of survival. He's trying to get us to thrive. And there's a big difference between the two. And thriving isn't external success. Thriving is know that you matter in relationship to others and you stepping into your purpose. Thriving is knowing what love is and being able to love others. And that is a mark of someone who is emotionally healthy, as well as a mark of what a Christian's supposed to be. Sadly, it doesn't seem like we're doing a good job of that, guys. But anyways, on the flip side of that, if you're not anxiety driven, you're primary depressive. And you'll have anxiety and depression on either side of these things. If you're primary depressive, you learn there's no use even trying. It's never going to be enough. So you just give up. Paul talks a lot about these two dynamics. And a lot of people don't understand the relationship between psychology and what's really going on. But Jesus was the master counselor, quite literally. But anyways, that's a whole other subject that I was about to get running off on a tangent on. But anyways, bringing it back to this point, I had this thought today, and I was thinking about how so many people pray for something to be taken away. But for free will to exist, there always has to be the decision of choice. There has to be two trees that you can pick from. One, the tree of life that leads to everything that's good. But if you're survival based, you've got the tree of knowledge and you've got fear and you're trying to control everything, you're trying to validate yourself. You're trying to run. You're trying to, I don't know, maybe you struggle with sex because it makes you feel like you're attractive and that makes you feel good. Maybe you struggle with money because of the power. The whole thing is all about validation. But whatever it is, you're asking God to take it away. And what needs to happen is in your heart. It's not as simple as that. So if I'm in a relationship with my spouse, am I going to be like, hey, I need you to take away this drive for me to want to cheat on you? I need you to take away this drive, whatever. No, you're going to choose her, you're going to honor her, and you're going to do the hard work or whatever that is. You're going to go into your heart and your soul, and you're going to dig into that relationship together and individually, and you're going to figure out what it is and try to heal it. But just to take it away, that's not how it works. So anyways, that was my thought today.